Cuomo of New York. So let's get into it right here on News Now from Fox. I'll read it out to you as we bring you the very latest. As always, the Supreme Court on Wednesday night, just yesterday, blocked New York Governor Andrew Cuomo from reimposing strict attendance caps at worship services in areas hit hard by the novel coronavirus. The court ruled 5-4 to bar Cuomo from enforcing his October 6th quote, cluster initiative against houses of worship that sued to challenge the restrictions. The order was also the first in which Justice Amy Coney Barrett played a decisive role. Barrett, who was President Trump's third Supreme Court nominee, joined the court October 27th after winning Senate confirmation following the September 18th death of Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg. Meanwhile, Chief Justice John Roberts joined the court's liberal wing in the dissenting opinion, which stated that the court had acted rashly. Cuomo's initiative had created color-coded limits on mass gatherings and business operations in an effort to stem the outbreak in New York City, areas that were experiencing a surge in cases, according to Bloomberg News. It was aimed at worship services at some synagogues and Roman Catholic churches in parts of Brooklyn and Queens, Bloomberg reported. In the hardest hit areas, which were designated red zones, the state limited attendance in houses of worship to 25% of their capacity, or 10 people, whichever is fewer. The majority said his limits violated the First Amendment's protection of the free exercise of religion. Justice Neil Gorsuch, in the concurring opinion, said Cuomo had treated religious activities less favorably than non-religious ones, according to the New York Times. It is past time to make plain that while the pandemic poses many grave challenges, there is no world in which the Constitution tolerates color-coded executive edicts that reopen liquor stores and bike shops but shutter churches, synagogues, and mosques, wrote Gorsuch, who was also named to the court by President Trump. So at least according to the governor, it may be unsafe to go to church, but it's always fine to pick up another bottle of wine, shop for a new bike, or spend the afternoon exploring your distal points. He continued, according to a tweet from The Economist correspondent Stephen Mazie, who knew public health would so perfectly align with secular convenience, Gorsuch wrote. The ruling was seen as a reversal from earlier actions taken during the pandemic this year by the High Court in response to state restrictions on organized religion. Reports said the justices previously refused to lift restrictions on churches in California and Nevada. So we will continue to follow this here for you, but it was a big win for the churches last night going into Thanksgiving. And yeah, and that's what a lot of people were definitely saying about all of this, saying, okay, wait, how are we having casinos open, liquor stores open, other shops? You could go to Lowe's, you could go to, Home Depot, a lot of these big box stores, but you can't go to a lot of the churches there. And that's what got a lot of people upset. And they were thinking, well, wait a minute. This doesn't seem in line. You can go to the liquor store, you can go to the casinos. You can't go to pray, which it actually helps some people. So that was interesting, and the Supreme Court there in a 5-4 decision ruled against Andrew Cuomo there. So we continue to roll on right here on News Now for Fox. Thanks again for joining us here, as we always try to bring you these live events.